EMS providers and injured people are exposed to moving traffic at vehicle crashes and other roadway incidents. Knowing where and how to park an ambulance based on conditions observed upon arrival at the scene helps protect everyone. When responding to a roadway incident in an ambulance, typically the recommended procedure is to approach the incident with caution from the same direction as traffic, even through the backlog or queue. Drive the wrong way only when the roadway is closed and as directed by emergency personnel on scene. When other agencies have responded prior to or with the ambulance, the fire service or law enforcement typically sets up a Traffic Incident Management Area, or TIMA. Often, the fire apparatus assumes a blocking position to close the affected lane plus one additional lane. If a TIMA is already in place when the ambulance arrives, park the ambulance downstream of the incident within the protected area. If possible, pick a location not in a travel lane and with an eye toward an easy departure route. Angle the ambulance with its patient loading doors as far away as possible from the open lanes of travel. This minimizes your exposure to oncoming traffic when loading a patient. If EMS is the first arriving or sole responding unit, consider dropping an advance warning sign or flares when on approach, about 150 to 300 yards prior to the incident, depending on weather and road conditions. Park the ambulance at an angle to indicate to approaching traffic that the rig is stopped and a lane is blocked. Exit on the downstream or protected side of the rig if possible. Retrieve the sign or flare, ideally from a compartment on the protected side, and deploy it at the outside edge of the lane or lanes to be closed. If you must walk to the upstream side to access the compartment, pass on the side of the ambulance that is not in the zero buffer area and work quickly, bringing the sign or flare to the protected side for deployment. In single unit response or first on scene, the ambulance must also serve as the initial blocking vehicle. Blocking and traffic control provide a safer work area on the roadway for both EMS providers and their patients. If the ambulance is equipped with MUTCD-compliant traffic cones, next angle the ambulance across the lane to be closed, approximately 150 feet upstream of the incident, based on roadway topography and traffic speeds. Exit the vehicle on the protected side. Retrieve the cones from their compartment, ideally on the protected side as well, and set a cone taper. Again, if you must walk around the ambulance to the upstream side to access the compartment, avoid the zero buffer area and work quickly, bringing the cones to the protected side for deployment. Next, reboard the ambulance and proceed to position it on an angle upstream of the incident work area. Park across the lane being closed at an angle that indicates to approaching drivers that the unit is parked and not moving, and that the lane is closed. The ambulance is now positioned as a blocking vehicle. If additional cones are available, place them on the lane line of the closed lane along the side of the incident vehicles, again working on the protected side, and then proceed with patient care. If no traffic control devices are available on the ambulance, upon arrival, proceed directly to the blocking position previously described. If it is a single unit response, contact dispatch to request an additional larger and heavier emergency vehicle for blocking assistance. When this blocking vehicle takes its position, the ambulance can be moved downstream of the incident and parked with the patient loading doors angled away from traffic. Do not work on the side of the ambulance exposed to moving traffic whenever possible. Work in the protected area on the downstream side of the ambulance. Load patients quickly, especially if the doors are exposed to traffic. Consider repositioning the ambulance for patient loading if another blocking vehicle is not in position to protect the loading area. Ambulances also park on roadways when delivering service to patients in structures and locations off the road. In all these situations, EMS providers are exposed to moving traffic when exiting and boarding the ambulance, retrieving equipment, and loading patients. Thus, positioning according to the principles previously discussed protects responder access to the vehicle, equipment, and patient loading doors.